Hi everyone, welcome to Numeriq Learning. So today we are in day 9 of Do Math With Me series, and before we start, let me tell you one thing about Do Math With Me. It's you dedicate just 20 minutes of your day every day from Monday to Friday. You sit along with me and you do problems, a variety of problems chapter wise. So over a period of time, in the next 6 to 7 months, you would have solved a number of different kinds of questions in each chapters, and that will only be helpful for you in your board examination. So do take your notebook, set a timer of 20 minutes, and let's do it. So the first question of today is find the degree of the polynomial. You are given a polynomial of this form, that is x minus 1 into x square plus x minus x to the power 4 plus 2. So let's write the given polynomial. You are given x minus 1 multiplied by x square plus x minus x to the power 4 plus 2. Always remember that the highest power of the variable is the degree of the polynomial. But before you find out the degree, before you identify or before you even go to calculate it, let us open the bracket, let us multiply these two functions. Okay, so x multiplied by all these 4 terms and then minus 1 multiplied by all of these 4 terms. Let's do it. So x into x square, x multiplied by x square and then x multiplied by x into minus x to the power 4 and x into 2. Okay, so it's x cube plus x into x is x square minus x to the power 5 plus 2x. And then what will you do? This minus 1 multiplied by all of these 4 terms. Okay, so minus x square. So minus 1 into x is minus x. Minus 1 into minus x to the power 4 is plus x to the power 4. Minus 1 into plus 2 is minus 2. Right? So here if you see x square plus x square and minus x square gets cancelled. You have to combine all the like terms. So what do you have? X to the power 3 minus x to the power 5 plus 2x minus x is plus x and then plus x to the power 4 minus 2. Now tell me what is the highest power of the variable? Highest power of the variable x. The first one is 3, x to the power 5, x to the power 1, 4. What is the highest power? It is 5. Okay, so the highest power of x in the given polynomial is 5. Therefore, the degree is equal to 5. Always solve it, open the bracket, multiply the function before and then simplify as much as possible. Combine all the like terms and then you will be able to find the degree of the polynomial. Pause the video and please do it yourself and do check if you are getting this answer. You have to be very careful when you have a negative sign and when you are multiplying each term with all the 4 other terms. So you have to be very careful with the signs. Okay, plus or minus sign. So hope it's clear. Let's move on to the second question. If x equal to 3 is 1 0 of the quadratic polynomial x square minus 2kx minus 6, then find the value of k. So you are given polynomial p of x is quadratic polynomial is x square minus 2k into x minus 6. This is the given quadratic polynomial. We are given that 3, x equal to 3 is one of the zeros, is 1 0 of p of x. What does it mean when you say 3 is one of the 0 of p of x? That means in place of x, if I substitute 3, then the value of the polynomial becomes 0. Let us substitute and see. So, in place of x, you have to put 3. So, 3 square minus 2k into 3 minus 6 is equal to 0. So, 3 square is 9 minus 6k minus 6 is equal to 0. So 9 minus 6 is 3, minus 6k equal to 0. So what do you get? Minus 6k equal to minus 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. K is equal to 3 divided by 6. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. So K is nothing but 1 by 2. So that's your answer. So you can write therefore K equal to 1 by 2. Okay. Very easy. So whenever you're given a 0, that means that in place of x, you have to just put that 0 value. The value of the polynomial is going to be 0 at that x value. So at x equal to 3, p of x becomes 0. And that is why it is called the 0 of the polynomial. Okay, so when you are substituted, you found the unknown value k. And k is equal to 1 by 2. Let's move on to the next question. Find the 0 of the polynomial x square minus 3x minus m into m plus 3. In order to find the zeros, you have to equate it to 0. Let p of x be the given quadratic polynomial, that is x square minus 3x minus m multiplied by m plus 3. Now, in this question, you don't, probably it's a tricky question. It's not a very easy question. Let me tell you how to do it. Okay. So, to find zeros, you have to find zeros, you have to equate it to 0. To find the zeros, you have to equate it to 0. So, let us equate x square minus 3x minus m multiplied by m plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, here what I'm going to do is x square minus the 3, I can write it as 3 plus m minus m, right? Okay, it's either ways, it's going to be 3 only. So what am I going to write? 3 plus and add and subtract m multiplied by x. Minus the third term is going to be the same, that is minus m into m plus 3 is equal to 0. Let me do it for you. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is I'll take m plus 3 into x as one term and minus mx I am going to take it separately. So what will I do? X square minus m plus 3 multiplied by x, right? 3 plus m plus 3, it's all same, into x minus mx. There is a minus outside. So when you open the bracket, minus into minus is going to become plus mx, and then minus m square minus 3m equal to 0. I just opened this term as well, right? Minus m into m minus m into 3, right? Now, in these two terms, okay, let us take common. What is common? Only x is common. So, take x common out. So, what will you get? X minus m plus 3. And then plus, what is common in the last three terms? M is common. So, let me take m common out. So, inside I'll have x minus m minus 3 equal to 0. Correct? Okay. So, then again x multiplied by x minus m plus 3 plus m multiplied by x, take minus common out, m plus 3 equal to 0. Now here these two terms are same. So x plus m is one term. So x plus m is one term. The other term is going to be x minus m plus 3. Correct? So this is the other term equal to 0. So now you have to use the zero product property. So either x plus m equal to 0, or which means x is equal to minus m. This is one of the zeros, and x minus m plus 3 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to m plus 3. This is the other 0. Okay, so this problem is a little tricky problem, and these two are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay. So the main part why I wanted you to wait and do it with me is because the most important thing is for you to take a plus m and minus m here and be very careful when you're segregating the terms. So m plus 3 into x becomes 1, minus into minus is plus mx. All the other, there will be 3 terms towards the end. So here you take x common out and then m common from the last 3 terms and then just combine it, group it together. So you'll be getting x plus m equal to 0, x minus m plus 3 equal to 0. So this is how you have to do it. Please solve it. Such questions are sometimes a little trickier, but if you solve it and see, then definitely, I'm sure if a similar question comes in the exam, you will definitely be able to do it. Pause the video and please do it. So these two, x equal to minus m and m plus 3 are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Let's move on to the next question. The graph of a polynomial p of x cuts the x-axis at 3 points and it touches it at 2 other points. What does it mean? Let me draw it for you here. So suppose I have this, okay, and you are given that p of x cut the x-axis, it cuts the x-axis at 3 points. So 1, 2 and 3, and it touches it at 2 other points, 1 and 2, right? So what is given here is, so see, it cuts at 3 points and it touches it at 2 other points. So totally how many points does it cut? So always whenever you are having a graph of p of x, whenever you're having whenever you're studying or observing the graph of a polynomial, a quadratic polynomial or any polynomial for that reason, the number of zeros are always the number of points where the graph cuts or touches the x-axis. So here if you see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the number of zeros are 5. Okay, so the number of zeros are the number of points where the graph cuts the x-axis. So this is your x-axis. Right? Now moving on to the next question. Which of the following is not a graph of a quadratic polynomial? Always remember, whenever you have a quadratic polynomial of the form ax square plus bx plus c, the degree of this polynomial is 2 and the maximum number of zeros that it will contain is going to be 2. Maximum. It can be 1, it can be 0 as well. So here if you see, look at the number of zeros. Here the number of zeros is 0. It does not cut the x-axis at all, right? So number of zeros, here it is 0 because it does not cut. What about here? It cuts it at 1. So the number of 0 is 1. Here it cuts it at 2 places. So the number of 0 is 2. So maximum a quadratic polynomial can have 2 zeros or less than 2. But here if you see the last graph, 1, 2, 3, the number of zeros are 3 zeros. And a quadratic polynomial cannot have more than 2 zeros. So which of the following is not the graph of a quadratic polynomial? It's the fourth graph. Probably a D. Okay, you can just label it. So if this is graph A, B, C and D, D is the answer. So D, the last graph is the graph that is not a graph of a quadratic polynomial. Right? This is how you have to do it. Just see at how many points does the graph cut the x-axis or touches the x-axis. That many zeros it has. And a linear polynomial always has exactly 1 zero, but a quadratic has maximum of 2 zeros. Let me know if you have any doubts. Please do put them in the comments. Let's move on to the next question. Find the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. The question is 7x square minus 19x minus 6. So this is again of the form ax square plus bx plus c. What is a? A is 7. What is b? The coefficient of x, which is minus 19, and c is nothing but the constant minus 6. Now there are two things. One is the sum and the other one is the product. The sum is always b and the product is always a into c. a product of A and C. So B is minus 19 and A multiplied by C is 7 into minus 6. Minus 7 6 are 42. Now how do you find? You have to find me two numbers whose sum is minus 19 and whose product is minus 42, because we are going to do middle term splitting in order to find the zeros of this polynomial. So 42, do the prime factorization. So 2 2's are 4, 2 1's are 2. Again 3 and 7. So if you see 7 3's are 21 and 2. 21 comma 2 could be a possibility if you put a negative sign here. Okay, so minus 21 multiplied by 2 will give you minus 42. Minus 21 plus 2 will give you minus 19. Right? So now we can do the middle term splitting. So the middle term, that is your x term, can be split as minus 21x plus 2x. So 7x square minus 21x plus 2x. So the middle term is split up into the two terms, right? Minus 19x is written as minus 21x plus 2x, and the last term is minus 6 equal to 0. Whenever you're finding the 0, equate it to 0. So here take 7x common. Now what do you have? X minus 3 plus 2 common out. Again x minus 3 equal to 0. X minus 3 is common. The other term is 7x plus 2 equal to 0. So either x minus 3 is equal to 0 or 7x plus 2 equal to 0. X is equal to 3 and 7x equal to minus 2. X is equal to minus 2 by 7. Right? These two are the x equal to 3 and x equal to minus 2 by 7. These are the zeros of the given quadratic polynomial. Okay, so what does it mean if you substitute x as 3 here, right? If you substitute x as 3 or if you substitute x as minus 2 by 7, the value what you will be getting will be 0. So therefore, x equal to 3 and x equal to minus 2 by 7 are called the zeros of this polynomial. You have to find the zeros, and what method did we use? We used the middle term splitting. This is the method that we used by splitting the middle term. Before splitting the middle term, always make sure your x square term is the first term and then x and then the constant. Let us do one more question on this. Yes. So 7x minus 6 minus 2x square. First of all, let us rearrange the terms and write. So minus 2x square and then the x term, that is plus 7x, and then the constant, that is minus 6. Okay, now what is a here? A is the coefficient of x square, that is minus 2, b is 7, and c is nothing but minus 6. So what should be the sum and what should be the product? Sum is b, that is 7, and the product is nothing but a multiplied by c. So minus 2 into minus 6, which is plus 12. So the minute you see 12, you can think of 4 and 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. So let's do the middle term splitting. So in order to find the zeros, minus 2x square plus 7x minus 6, we have to equate it to 0 to find the 0. Now let us replace the middle term with 4 and 3. So 4x plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Take minus 2x common. You will have x minus 2 plus 3 common out. Again x minus 2 equal to 0. So x minus 2 is common, and then minus 2x plus 3 is the other term equal to 0. So either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or you have minus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. So x equal to 2 in the first case and minus 2x equal to minus 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. X is equal to 3 by 2. So these two are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial, the given quadratic polynomial. I hope you understood. So let me give you one homework to do. the homework is you have to find out the zeros of 3x square plus 10x plus 3. Okay, do this and comment your answer below. That's all for today. So we have solved very good questions with respect to finding the zeros of a quadratic polynomial, or if one of the zeros is given, how do you find an unknown value, that is k? How do you find the degree of a polynomial by solving it? So these are some of the questions that we solved today as a part of our 20 minutes daily practice series called Do Math With Me. Hope you are liking it. Please do share your feedback in the comment. It will be super nice to read them and to know that my videos are being helpful and students are actually viewing them. So thank you so much for your support. Please do share it with your friends, and see you all in day 10 tomorrow. Okay, see you all tomorrow in day 10. Thank you so much. Happy learning.